name is Melayna, and I'm a practitioner here at the Dharma Bum Temple. Today I'm going to be leading us through a bit of loving kindness practice. And welcome to everyone watching at home. Thank you for tuning in. So before we begin, today I kind of wanted to talk about what exactly is meant by loving kindness. People like to break down the word. They go, love, is it kindness? What is kind? Really what loving kindness is a spirit of unconditional friendliness. And that is meeting people with equanimity. It doesn't matter who they are, where they came from, how they've treated you, we still meet them with that spirit of friendliness. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that you have to be overly friendly. You can still have boundaries. You can still, keep people at a distance. But when we have to interact with them, when we have to go out in the day-to-day world and just interact with people we don't necessarily want to, it's important to meet them with friendliness. Because that allows us to be open. And the reason that's important is I know a lot of people experience pain, they experience suffering, they experience trauma, and put up all these walls. Put up all these walls in front of ourselves that they're very effective at keeping people out and keeping people from hurting us. They also keep people out and keep people from getting close, people from connecting with us. And ultimately, it ends up being kind of a lonely existence because what we're doing is denying our own interconnectedness with everyone around us. And that's just a fact. Dependent origination is a part of this practice. We are all connected, whether we would like to be or not. And resisting that is only going to cause us more suffering. I was recently reading a passage from Dogen, and the book is called the Tenzo Kyukun, and it is, or translated as Instructions for the Cook. And these are instructions for the Zen cook at the monastery. And in it, he says that every ingredient should be treated with the greatest care, whether it is simply weeds we pulled out of the ground or some of the most expensive, mushrooms or fish or whatever it was. All of these things should be handled with the same amount of care. And that's kind of what I think it really lends itself to the practice of metta, because we should be treating people with the same amount of care. It doesn't matter our opinion of them, even really, and that we should continue to meet the world with a spirit of friendliness. And that's why metta practice is important. And that's why we sit and practice here now when it's very easy, so that when we go out there, it's very hard. We can be a little bit better at it. I know in my life it hasn't always been easy to be kind or even want to be kind. But what does being unkind, what does being mean, and what does being hateful, and what does being angry actually bring us? It doesn't bring happiness. It doesn't bring safety. A lot of times it brings the opposite of that. People hold vendettas or get angry at us, and maybe they want to harm us. But if we go out in the world and continue to approach people with friendliness, no matter what their intentions are, because those can't be known, and really just give that spirit without condition. You don't expect it in return. We don't expect helicopters in our schedule. And that's basically it. We don't want people to harm us, but whether they do or not is really up to them. And if we're meeting people with friendliness, kindness, with wisdom, compassion, we've given them no reason, at the very least. I think with that, I'll just go ahead and settle in the practice today. I didn't have a whole lot to get us started. I'm sure it'll come to me later. Is there anyone here who is brand new to meditation, or it's your first time here at the Dharma Bum Temple? Hi. Welcome.
It's okay for me.
If you want to introduce yourself.
Oh, no.
No, you're good. You can be anonymous. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my first time here.
First, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Is it your first time in meditation?
No.
No. Okay.
But first
So you got your, you know where you're kind of gonna sit.
I'm rusty.
All right. It's all right. You know, I don't think we'll need any training wheels.
Yeah.
I can get them out of the basement though, if you like the meditation training wheel. So, have you ever done loving kindness meditation before?
Perhaps.
So this is gonna be a guided meditation. We're gonna go through a few different things. We're gonna start by sending loving kindness, or as I like to calling it today, unconditional friendliness to ourselves. And that involves a spirit of generosity, involves a spirit of forgiveness, patience. Patience, I believe, is one of the greatest gifts we can give to anyone. And being generous with that creates more understanding and less suffering overall. But yeah, you don't have to close your eyes. You can leave them lightly open, whatever you're most comfortable with. I will begin with 3 invitations of the bell, and then I'll finish with 3 invitations of the bell. I'll be speaking periodically. I know last time it's so lovely and quiet in here. I wear hearing aids and I have my timer going off in my hearing aids so that people in the front could sort of hear me. So today I have an hourglass. So there will be no additional chiming from my ears. But with that, I'll go ahead and get us started. So remember not to judge your practice. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're not going to, you might reach enlightenment. I don't think I'm that good, but, I don't know where you're at. So, but so far, no one has. So we'll see. But yeah, go ahead and get settled. Take a few deep breaths to get us started. I will ring the bell, and yeah, we'll go from there. Settle into your body, taking notice of your breath. Take notice of its character. Let the air fill your lungs. Be conscientious as you slowly exhale. Do this as many times as you need or you feel necessary. When you are ready, begin sending loving kindness to yourself. It may help to envision yourself as a child and send love to that inner child. Repeat the phrases. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now that we've sent love to ourselves, we can begin to send it out into the world. Bring to mind someone close to you, someone you love, someone you care about deeply. Take them and hold them in your mind. And again, offer them the phrases. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Now, let this person go. Bring to mind a neutral person, someone you may not know very well, someone you might pass on the bus, a grocery store clerk, or someone who works somewhere you go a lot. Recognize that just as you suffer, so does this person as well. Now, holding them in your mind, offer them the phrase of kindness. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Now, let this person go. Bring to mind a difficult person. You may not want to choose the person who you find most difficult at the moment, but someone who is currently irritating or annoying you. Recognize that this person has their own suffering, just as you have your own suffering. And now, offer the phrases without condition. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Now, you can let this person go. And begin to expand your awareness to all sentient beings. The people outside in the street, the people in this entire country, the people in this entire world, the animals, the creatures, the insects. You expand it beyond this planet, out into the universe, the sentient beings we may know nothing about. But offer them the phrases. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy. May all beings live with ease. And now, bring your awareness back to the present moment, back into the temple, back into this space. Take 3 deep, cleansing breaths. Slowly begin to open your eyes, move around. Feel free to stretch a little bit. It's a bit of a long one. And take a moment to settle back into the space. All right, we're back. Yeah, loving kindness can always be a bit of a difficult meditation. In I help with the recovery sangha here, and we always do loving kindness meditation on Monday nights because it is so important. As a lot of times we're in recovery, we don't show ourselves kindness. We'll show everybody else kindness but ourselves, and that's why it's most important to start with the self, the non-self, as you would like to define it, and start to move that kindness outward into the world. But with that, I think I will go ahead and give us a moment. We can sit in silence if you like, but I'd like to hear if you have anything you'd like to share about your experience with the meditation, or if you have any general questions about meditation itself or Buddhism. I'm yours for the remaining 23 minutes.
I thought it was interesting that what you just said, because I found the self one the hardest of all the phases of the meditation.
Because it's easy to kind of, for those who don't know, but the comment was on how the giving love to the self is one of the hardest parts of meditation. And it's often because I think in our lives right now, we tend to think that everything comes from out here, right? Like happiness is from out here. If I have this, then I'll be happy. I need this to be comfortable. I need this to be safe. And I need to pull it from here. Or if I just had this person do this one thing. When in reality, all of that stuff out there is completely out of our control. The only thing we do have control over is what goes on in here, what goes on in our mind. But often that's one of the scariest places for us to be. And so we send love to the self. It really opens up everything else and allows us to cultivate that friendliness and send it out to everyone in our lives. Yes, sir.
Did you say you're in recovery?
I'm sorry?
Did you say you were in recovery?
I am.
Is there meditations that you do that help with urges?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit hearing impaired. It's the airplane. Yeah. All right, please.
Are there meditations that you do that help cravings and urges?
Well, I find the practice overall helps with cravings and urges because what we're trying to do here is recognize our compulsive behaviors. So, to pull back, there are the Four Noble Truths and there's the Eightfold Path, right? The Four Noble Truths are there's suffering. The second noble truth is that there's a cause to suffering, which is craving and desire. And then, craving and desire as caused by the three fires or three poisons, which are anger, ignorance, and greed. Then there is an end to suffering. And then the fourth noble truth is the middle way or the noble eightfold path. And by cultivating the 8 parts of this path, which are intention, view, action. I haven't gone over them in a while. I'm very embarrassed. Action, speech, effort, livelihood, concentration, and wisdom. And meditation, concentration, meditation. It's all about wisdom overall. It's all wise. When you cultivate that, what you're really doing is you're starting to get to know what your habits are, what your compulsive behaviors are, what your reactivity is. I believe a lot of people call them propensities. And once you start to become aware and recognize that and recognize what's happening, I know a lot of you've probably heard in recovery literature a lot that relapse doesn't start with use. It starts with thoughts like days and days before. And once you become aware of what leads you to the compulsion, what leads you to the behavior, you can begin to stop it much earlier and choose a different action. And in meditation, our goal is to sit with the present moment and observe it. Observe what we're feeling, what we're thinking, what is, we sit and observe the temperature of the room. You can hear the fan, the sounds, birds. Usually there's two very loud parrots out here. They didn't grace us tonight. And that, in recognizing the path that leads to that draw, that craving, we can begin to stop it. And I think that's one of the most helpful parts of meditation in recovery. And there's lots of different types of meditation. People look at meditation different ways. But through the Buddhist style of meditation, I think the awareness of our actions is what is really, and how we get there and how we start doing automatic things. A lot of these things are around the stories we tell ourselves. Like, we all have a story. Like, what's your name?
Jeff.
Okay. All right. So, like, you have a story about yourself that you tell yourself, and you go, I'm this guy. This is who I am. And I'm not ever going to be different from the story, because I'm going to tell this story to myself, and this is what defines me. In Buddhist practice, what we do is we give you the ability to change that story. There's impermanence, and impermanence is one of the foundational principles of the practice, and that is that everything is of the nature to change. That includes you, that includes me, that includes the floorboards, that includes blades of grass outside. And so it's when we resist our own nature to change that we get stuck in these compulsive cycles. But when we accept our nature to change and accept the nature of all things to change, then we can suffer less and start to see things as they are and be more resilient instead of resistant. Resistance is one of the things that I think causes the most suffering in our lives, because we try to resist the nature of our own connectedness. We try to resist the nature of things to change because we don't want things to change, because change is hard, change sucks. And I don't want people to go away, and I don't want my relationships to change, and I don't want to move out of my house, and I don't want to get a different car, and I don't want this, and I don't want my shirt to, I really like this shirt. I don't want it to get worn out and I have to throw it away. But all those things are going to happen. And so we accept that is the nature of things, and then we suffer less. And when that's our resilience, letting things pass through us, accepting things as they are. In addition to loving kindness, one of the 4 Brahma-viharas, which is what these are the heart practices, is equanimity. And that is meeting things not so much indifferently, but not reacting to them. Things do not have to be good or bad. I mean, we can view things as good or bad in a moment, but we don't really know what the ultimate result of anyone's action or even our own action is going to be. And we don't know if when the dominoes fall, in the end, that was actually the best thing that could have happened, even though in the moment, it might suck pretty bad. And I definitely view my own struggles with addiction in that way. I did a lot of things that I regret, but all of those things that happened, every single moment of shame or craving or whatever it was, led me to right here. And I kind of like right here. I don't know, but I'm sitting up here. I got you guys. I'm on YouTube. I'm a star, man. But you just have to look at what is in front of you. I think I'm going on a tangent here, but that is meditation is the beginning, and then the deeper you go, the easier it gets. And yeah, of course, craving's going to be there, desire's going to be there, but you're going to see it coming before it overwhelms you. The more you sit with it, and the more you become aware of what you think, what you say, and what you do. I think I'm done with that one.
Well, I came here tonight because I've been really struggling with hatred. I've never felt hatred before in my life until recently. I wasn't the type of person to carry such things in my heart. But I'm also in recovery. Come to Fridays.
For sure.
Sundays,
I think mine's not a recovery meeting.
right.
Try to get to a question.
No, like
yeah.
this isn't a recovery themed speech.
Okay.
Basically, I'm just here because I knew that the loving kindness meditation was tonight. And I was like, I really need to do that and send that energy out there because I've just been emitting this hatred I didn't even know I was capable of. And it's been completely consuming my life for the last 2.5 years. I mean, like, the power that I gave away is just astonishing to realize. Like, meditating on this person that is bringing me these feelings, like, it's challenging to wish them well, to wish them good things, to wish them health and happiness, like, because I have found myself just really wishing bad things upon this person, and that's not who I am. It's like startling to, like, I don't know, I'm separating myself from a situation that I'm just realizing has been, like, all consuming and just completely vibrationally bringing me down and turning me into someone that I'm really not. And so I looked up what was happening tonight here, and I was like, oh, it's the loving kindness meditation. I'm on my way. So yeah, it was a great one.
It's definitely a practice to continue. What I will say is that there's a quote from the Buddha that says, "We are not punished for our anger; we are punished by it."
Absolutely how I feel. I feel like this weight is only bringing me down, and this person's just going about their lives.
And also,
I'm the one feeling this, like, tremendous weight.
the important thing to remember is that hatred, like meeting hatred with hatred, never solves the issue and doesn't bring anyone to your side. It doesn't change the situation.
It's making me physically ill.
So you mentioned earlier the 3 poisons are anger, ignorance, and greed. The antidote to anger, so they all have antidotes. The antidote to greed is generosity. The antidote to ignorance is wisdom. And the antidote to anger is compassion. And it is hard, definitely hard. And, you know, I don't want to discount your experience. But I do feel that, you know, I definitely have some people that I have wished harm upon. And the thing is that if you can kind of take your awareness and look at how you're feeling now, you're not feeling very well, and this doesn't hurt them at all. They're not thinking about this at all. So when we give compassion to people, when we give forgiveness to people, that is mostly for us. That is mostly for us. So that we can let it go and we can let it pass and we can move on and live our lives with happiness and have that. And I think, you know, it's difficult to understand, but just as you're suffering now, they're suffering in that way too. That is why people put anger and hatred and things out in the world, is because they're lashing out and suffering. And you have to have compassion for them, because you have to, like, I had a very interesting conversation with someone, and they were talking about, it's like, okay, we all agree that everyone who murders is bad. How will we give them compassion? And I say, we need to think about what it would take, how much pain and how much suffering you would have to be in to do that to another person. And that is when you begin to understand the depth of another, like, you can't know whatever someone else is suffering, but you can know how that would feel for yourself. And you can know that they're suffering very deeply, and you can have compassion for that person. Because in Buddhism, we say we have Buddha nature. When we take refuge, if you've been to the other meetings, we take refuge in the three jewels. It's the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Dharma is the truth of the ultimate truth. The Sangha is the community. It's none of these people. It's the nature of goodness that exists within you, within me, make. And when we suffer, sometimes that deludes us, and we make bad choices. And sometimes those choices have consequences for other people. And I know it sucks. It sucks pretty bad. And forgiveness is not something that's going to happen overnight. Your anger is not going to go away overnight. Hatred's not going to go away overnight. But if you don't have to hang out, you don't have to have lunch with that person, you don't have to bring them flowers every day. Take a little time and try to forgive them, even if it's just 30 seconds of the day. Okay, still hate them. Okay, move on. Now I can go on. Now I can have my coffee and move on with my day. Right? Do that every day. And eventually the practice will get there. And forgive. I can't say that wounds are going to be healed, that time is not erased, the past is still there, the memories are still there. But we can continue to move on. We can continue to be resilient. And we cannot let that anger and hatred be spread to anyone else. Because, that's why they call them the three fires or the three poisons, even. Because they literally, the anger and degree literally poison everything they touch. Anger burns you up inside and tears you apart. And sometimes it can feel good, feel vengeful and vindicating, but it just promotes more suffering. Thank you for sharing. I think maybe out of today and advice. But I thank you all for being here and holding the space, and being willing to sit and be a little vulnerable sometimes, even if whether you share it or not. Sometimes we can just being in a room and being with ourselves and being true to ourselves is the best thing we can do. So, if you're comfortable, please join your palms. May any merit gained from this practice today be transferred to all beings in all directions. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. And may they live with ease. Before we go, Erica has an announcement.
Hi everyone, I'm tonight's host, Erica. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction, and our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book that you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you are done with it. Please straighten your seat or your cushion before you head out. People could stay to close and watch the windows. That would be very helpful. Hope to see you all again.
Thank you.